Hello, Nomad Nation. Welcome to Tandem Nomads, the podcast show and entrepreneurship platform where you can find great inspiration and tips to grow a successful portable business and thrive in your global nomadic life. This is your host, Emel Teregi, and today I'm really excited to have a repeat guest on the show that I decided to bring back for a great update after 5 years. Very inspiring. I love to see where our guests have been before and where they are today and share it with you. So, in order to share with you today's great, inspiring story, I have here Jo Parfitt. Jo, thank you so much for being here with us today. And please let us know in a few words a little bit about you.
Thanks, Amel. I'm Jo Parfitt. I run joparfitt.com, summertimepublishing.com, springtimebooks.com, expatbookshop.com, writingmetreats.com, lifestoryjo.com, writelivestory.com. I am a writer, I am a teacher, and I help people to make their writing dreams come true. In a nutshell, I specialize in helping people who live overseas write books for people who live overseas, but I do a hell of a lot of other things along the way. And I guess at my core, I'm both a writer and a teacher.
And I would add an entrepreneur. For me,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
you are an entrepreneur because you have ideas and you bring them to reality. And this is why you've managed to transform your great skills and talent into such a many different ways to apply it as a business or becoming a serial entrepreneur in a way, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I am a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Mm.
So speaking of which, I'd love to know, Joe, if where were you 5 years ago? Who was the Joe 5 years ago, and who's Joe today?
Well, 5 years ago, I would have said that I am a writer. I would not have said I'm a teacher because it's taken a while for me to accept that that's who I am. So I would have said I was a writer, and I would have definitely just said I help people to write books. And that's what I do. I still do mentoring and editing books for people who wanted to get published. And I have helped over 300 people do exactly that. So I still do that. But now, 5 years later, I would say I am more a teacher than anything. It's what I really love to do. I love helping people to make their writing dreams come true. I love helping people to write books. But the big change in me is that I just love helping people to write. And so I now, through the Life Story Jar program, I help anybody just write stories as legacy for their family. So that's not about being published. In the Write Life Stories with Spice program, I help people to just write better stories, whether they are for publication or for books or for pleasure. And I run a lot of online programs to help people to write memoir and how to, and I just run a whole host of online courses that I never did before. I have an events page on my website, which I've never had before, and it is full, and it is really quite scary because 5 years ago, how many hours was I teaching a month? An average two. Now I'm teaching 20 hours a month, and it's growing.
And amazing. And I guess we talked about in this episode, the pandemic has really created a huge shift in your business as well, where your
Mm,
team has grown and so many interesting developments in your journey, Joe. So Nomad Nation,
mm,
Joe for me is a great story about how entrepreneurship is about the journey and also how things can develop along the journey. If you're wondering where you could be in a few years, it's always interesting to listen to other people's stories and her great insights and what her learning lessons along the journey. So, Joe, thank you so much for sharing this story with us and your great transformation in the past years. And Nomad Nation, if you want to learn more about Jo and as well as her great tips along these past years, make sure to tune in into this episode. The link is above or below this video, or simply go to tandemnomads.com/228. Nomad Nation, thank you so much. And Jo, I can't wait to continue to watch your journey.
thank you for having me, Amel.
My pleasure. Nomad Nation, stay tuned to turn your challenges into great opportunities.